What's up people, my name is Carlo. I am here with Adorama TV today and we are showcasing two sets of lights, both from ARRI. The first one is the ARRI Orbiter and the next one is the SkyPanel, both the S60 and S30 model. Just to preface before we move into the actual video, the commercial itself is not finished, the ad is not done, so I'm just going to be throwing in some individual clips of the actual final frames. Also, before we begin, I just want to apologize for my stuffiness. My allergies are really bad right now. I was given the task to utilize these lights on a set in a real-world scenario, so I partnered with a good friend of mine and also director Colin Tunney, aka Cultivision, and he's coming out with a brand new hoodie, so we decided to do a little 15-20 second spot, promoting his hoodie. And we ended up picking a really cool location, which is a little trailer home, which is very used, very, I want to say beaten down, but it has a lot of character. It's not brand new, so there's a lot of texture and a lot of really awesome things that help make the image look the way that it does. So after a few conversations with Colin, I ended up coming up with a mood board. And if you look here, the mood board is very golden and there are some nighttime scenes that we didn't really use. The main gist of this shoot was to utilize these ARRI lights and create a kind of golden hour, sunsetty daytime look while shooting at night. So considering that we shot really only at night, I'd say that this was a great opportunity for us to really take a look at these lights and see what they're really capable of. Once we got on set, I worked with my gaffer Nick Dabas as well as Rango Lubin on how to create the look that we essentially wanted, and based on the lights that we had, which were two orbiters and two sky panels, the S60 and S30, we ended up coming up with a plan that best fit the location that we were at and the limitations that that location also inhibited us with. So the first light that we're going to talk about is the ARRI Orbiter. The Orbiter is a 6-color wide gamut light. It also features weatherproof housing, a removable control board, which is a very cool feature, especially when you want to adjust settings on the fly. You don't have to reach up at the top of the light if it's really high up. You can bring it down and it can be very handheld, which is a really cool option. It's also magnetic, so you could stick it to any sort of combo stand. A really cool feature of the Orbiter is that it comes with 3 different lens options. One of 15 degrees, 30 degrees, and 60 degrees. So specifically on this shoot, one of the orbiters that we used, we threw on the 15-degree lens. And essentially what that means is we wanted a bit of a hard light and more of a spotlight. Even though it's not a traditional spotlight attachment, it created a bit more of a directional hard light for us to create some more beams inside of the trailer. The other 2 lens options, the 30 and 60 degree, are more of an open face light, which create more spread and aren't as beam-like. And for the other orbiter, we used the open face to create more of a general ambient coming through the window as opposed to more of a beam-like light. Another really cool feature of the Orbiter is that it has a Kelvin range of 2000 all the way up to 20,000 Kelvin. Another really cool feature that I personally noticed was the smooth dimming on these lights. Naturally, on some of the lights, when you go from 100 all the way down to 0, they're more in increment stops. Opposed to the ARRI Orbiter, it is a very smooth dimming from 100 to 0, so instead of it being in incremental stops, it's more of a smooth transition from 100 to 0. Another really great feature about the actual body of this light is that it is a weatherproof exterior, and during our shoot it started to rain and the light pretty much stayed the same. It didn't flicker, it didn't short, it was perfectly fine throughout the rain, given that we did cover it after a while, but it did get some rain on it and it was perfectly fine. Another really cool feature of the Orbiter is that it has a sensor that essentially knows what optical attachment you're putting in front of the light. So the Orbiter software called LEOS has 8 different color modes: CCT, HSI, RGBW, XY coordinates, gel selection, source matching, effects, and color sensor mode. So how we utilized the Orbiter on our shoot was to create more of a harder directional light. Both of the orbiters were set to 2800 Kelvin, which helped us create that warmer tungsten look, or that golden hour kind of vibe. This was my first time using the Orbiter, and I was extremely impressed by the color, the intensity, and essentially the 3 lenses that were provided to us and all the different types of looks that we can get with those 3 different lenses. And we were really able to accomplish exactly what we were looking for with those lenses and with this light specifically. And that paired with the soft light of the SkyPanel, it was a perfect combination for this project to mix between hard and soft light. The next light that we're going to be talking about is the infamous SkyPanel. So I'm assuming a lot of people that watch this channel have used these SkyPanels before, and is a industry standard light that is just a beautiful soft light. It's just beautiful. SkyPanels have been in the game for such a while now, and honestly, a lot of people know exactly what these lights are. They know what they could do. They know everything about these lights, and Frankly, they are one of the best lights out there in the market right now for these soft panels. And the benefit that we saw in utilizing them on our shoot was to pair them with the hard light, which were the Orbiters. The big benefit of the SkyPanel is that it's very portable, it is very power efficient, and it is safe to use considering it is an LED, adjustable color temperature of 2800 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin. The other benefit is being able to really fine tune the green and magentas to really perfect your skin tones. Another beautiful thing about the SkyPanel is that it's a CRI color accuracy of 95. Additionally, with the SkyPanel, a full spectrum of colors can be dialed in with separate controls for brightness and saturation. Since we had both the S60 and S30, the one thing about the S60 is it is a bit of a bigger light. I think it is around 20-25 pounds. And for both lights, you do have to use combo stands. With the S30, it is a bit more of a portable running gun light. You could use that on any instance in any location. The profile is very small. You don't have to really worry about the size of it and getting in the way of much of anything. I highly recommend using the S30 for any of your running gun shoots or any of your smaller productions, especially when you're in locations that are very tight quarters. So how we utilized the S30 on our shoot was essentially for it to just create general ambience through one of the particular windows. And for this window, we didn't want any hard directional light. We wanted this one to be a bit more of a softer ambient light because the other two windows on the opposite side of the trailer are a bit more of a harder light. So it didn't make too much sense having another hard light coming from that way. It would just make it look like there were 3 suns or 2 suns. Didn't make sense. Similarly to the Orbiter, we set it to 2800 Kelvin, which helped us create that warm glow in the window and not just fall off into blackness because it was night out. Really loved having the opportunity to use that S30 in that back window because it was right next to a fence, really tight quarters, and you really couldn't fit any other light in there. So having that S30 being so low profile was perfect. With the S60, we ended up approaching this in a bit more of a creative way. Instead of going with 2800 Kelvin like the other lights, we set this to the HSI mode of about 194, which helped us create this kind of greenish, kind of grungy, tealish tone. And essentially what this motivated was some sort of street lamps, some sort of light coming outside that wasn't the sun. But normally if this was the case, we would have set this to a little bit more of a lower dim setting, a little bit less intense, just so it was a bit more of a background. But this was a bit more of a creative approach and a stylized approach. So we bumped up the intensity a little bit so there was a lot more level coming in through the door. When they opened it, especially mixed in with the haze, you got a really cool looking image and a really cool looking light. So moving on, I'm going to introduce 2 of the crew members, Nick Dabas and Rangel Lubin, who offer some insight onto how these lights were utilized on our shoot.
My name's Rangel. One of the good things about having these LED sources like the SkyPanel and the Orbiter is that we don't have to worry as much about ampage and drawing power and basically blowing out circuits. Obviously we're in a small space where we don't have a lot of outlets at our disposal, but we were still able to complete the task mainly because we were able to conserve energy by using Orbiters and using these SkyPanels. So 60C, the 30C, Orbiter here, and they were really good and they give a really nice punch. You know what I mean? I think they kind of substitute for some of the stage lights that you would see sometimes. And especially if you're in a smaller area, they can really function in a manner that kind of mimics some of other ARRI products. So I think it was just a good idea to have those around, and it was really interesting to use them.
So Carlo reached out to me and sent me this mood board. We went over things like color temperature and how he was gonna actually frame the blocking. So like, we're in an RV, so you can't really supplement and put lights inside as much because it's a really tight area. So we decided to use, you know, the Orbiters and the SkyPanels with their unique color temperatures. So for color temperature, we went with the Orbiters at 2800 Kelvin, which gave us that really nice warm glow. And then for the SkyPanels, we went in with an HSI mode. The SkyPanels helped us create more ambient inside the trailer, and we went with the HSI mode of 195.
I want to give a huge shout out to Adorama TV for being able to provide us with these amazing lights and giving us the opportunity to shoot something so cool and amazing. These lights are really something special, and considering this is my first time using the Orbiter, it is definitely going to be something that I consider renting for more of the shoots that I have coming up. And with the SkyPanel, I already rent the SkyPanels pretty often, and they are just absolutely beautiful. You know, they're just perfect soft source lighting, and the Orbiters are something new that I wanted to try out, and I am extremely impressed, especially with the different lens options and different attachments that you can get. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. So hopefully you guys had a great holiday, and I wish you all the best in this upcoming new year, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. Peace out.